Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any...
Wait, what?
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
It's a different room.
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. $2845.
8,008.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Mark just flashes 8,008. Y'all have seen me, seen my chest all over the screen before.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley
Shugo.
realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, just... Oh, come on.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Wait, what?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Why does our office building have a death room? Oh, I'm fine.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story.
I came
That
here
forever in his
for waffles! Hi, Beansy.
narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
The narrator has a narrator?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless.
What?
making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path that from Stanley's office to the 2 doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development. The core layout remains almost identical to the first illustration. Stanley's office, the little rooms, more rooms. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. The corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the 2 doors in a good time. The 2 doors. The set of the 2 open doors was the very first concrete piece of Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. The office. Oh my god. Hi, Twix. Button sounds. A selection of the buttons used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Filing cabinets. Office computers. Employee database. Solitaire. Installation. Oh, that's the credits on the... Wait, the credits? Maintenance room, an early version of the maintenance room. There's like money everywhere in that bottom left picture. Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and he would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. From Anthony, what is this strange number? Could you tell me what the significance of the number 11128000 is? Narrator emails. What would you do if Stanley entered any other rooms? After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are a selection of those. On a scale of Max Ernst to Salvador Dali, how surreal will this game be? Congratulations. In line with our previous announcement regarding the ongoing promotion, here's the result in attach file. Open it carefully to see the full details of the result. Congratulations. Be the first to apply for your claim. Greetings, omnipotent voice. I wanted to tell you I like the Stanley Parable as much as I like seeing a humorously small badger in swim trunks. Indeed, I liked it as much as I like walking in the park watching the sunset. Okay. I can't read these fast enough. The apartment timer. In a previous version of the game leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. I haven't seen any of these endings. The cargo lift, the second version and functionality the same was than the final game, but we wanted it to look more like a place where cargo is actually stored. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, oh, I could have jumped to a different path? I just saw jump to death. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death. Meeting room. One option. One option. A vent? Two options. Maintenance layout. The flow of hallways following the first two doors was important to get right since players will replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. The game is now paused. Begin the game again. Resume the game options. Return to menu. Escape menu. For a long time, we had an ending that only ended when the player restarted from the escape menu. Unfortunately, very few players realized this is what they were supposed to do, which was frustrating for everyone. You should leave? What? Am I not what? I should leave. What? A desk from an early version of the countdown ending. What is the countdown ending? Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator of the monitor room could go up or down with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this so players don't have too difficult to remember what was up and what was down and placed the two endings together instead. Zending levers. The levers originally a part of the zending. A player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. Trailers. We ran 4 major teaser trailers over the course of the game's development, each meant to convey something about the spirit of the game. This is the first one released in May 2012. It released a series of broken rooms in the voice of the narrator, informing viewers that he is repairing a new version of the Stanley Parable. This is really odd. Freedom ending. This is the freedom ending. Game design mock-up. This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout from the mock-up is still in the game. Oh, these are different versions of Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was in November 2011, then March 2012, and the third February 2013.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But
I want to try answering the phone.
Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look,
Oh,
Stanley,
there's the other path right there. I'll try that out later too.
I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
Let's see what this does.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Yes.
They want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Where's the bread? You said we had bread.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What? Good morning, employee 427. Press B on your keyboard. So, come here often?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Please press K. M. C. S. QWERTYUIOP LJHGFDSAZXCVBNM. K.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
I tried everything else
He's
first.
pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Please press L to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Please press P to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press G to prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world,
No, my
he began
kitchen!
to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls.
I haven't seen it yet.
Down another
Spoilers.
was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby.
What?
And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Spoilers! Press Q to tell your kids a story? What?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press I to tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer. How could there
My
possibly
wife!
be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Press X to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Chat, I need my blankie. If you too need a blankie, exclamation merch. They're mad comfy. They're mad comfy. I'm gonna do this while I'm also simultaneously not pushing buttons. I'm playing the game while getting comfy. I'm very skilled. Wizard Dennis. Sure. Wizard Dennis plays Stanley Parable. There we go. Chip's not nearby. I'm gonna refund the chip stuff. I don't know if I have any other choice besides pressing I. When's the Wizard Dennis? I don't know if I'm doing a Wizard Dennis blanket. Okay. You can quit the game. I.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press B to question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay. Can I just say those filing cabinets over there are very poorly designed, like with their placement.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there, just a kind of, tingle. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
The sign just says danger. Danger everywhere. Dude, the tone of the narrator's voice when I jumped. Really?
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Red. Capital D on the end of that.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Psycho, thank you for the Prime sub.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing. No!
I did his trick.
Oh, thank God you lived. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You're literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
This is so dark.
Like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.